So go ahead and find a seat that feels good for you. It's wonderful if you can kind of allow the body to be upright, but at the same time at ease and relaxed. So I'll let you take a moment to find that posture. Another way to think of living from a sense of call and response is deeper and deeper levels of attunement. So to start, we're going to attune to the body a little bit. Just bringing some of our attention into our feet in whatever way they're connected with the ground below you, whether you're sitting in a chair, whether you're sitting cross-legged on a bed or the ground, just starting to sense the feet, sense this connection to the ground, chair, whatever you're sitting on, just starting to pay attention to that relationship, that intersection. And if you're newer to meditation, it's okay. However, you can bring attention to this. You just try your best. Of course, distraction is going to come. We're going to be distracted off into thinking about other things. Sometimes sounds distract us or other phenomena, other sense perceptions. That's okay. Just come back to the feet. Come back to our ground here, our home base. And going a little bit deeper, just sensing all the parts of the feet and how they're connected to the ground. So you may want to move your toes a little bit or just engage a little bit more of an active attention, noticing all of the ways you can sense the feet connected to the chair, ground, seat, couch, wherever you're sitting. So attention is just allowing part of our mind, we could say here maybe the majority of our mind, to find nowness in the feet, to find a sense of here in the feet as they're connected to the earth. Now going a little bit deeper, see if you can sense the space inside the feet, around and in between. So one practical way to do this is just see if you could notice both feet at the same time, and then also notice the space in between. So there's sensation and there's also space that doesn't have sensation, yet you can sense it. You can pay attention to it. And now we're going to start to bring in this quality of awareness, which is the root of meditation. We'll talk about that more after the guided meditation. And awareness is this quality of watchfulness, where not only can we pay attention, but we can become watchful that we're paying attention. So in a sense, I just want you to practice watching or being watchful of your feet, the space in between the feet, and perhaps any space around. Just allowing yourself to embody more and more there. Again, it's not a goal, it's a process. So what that means is if you lose awareness, if you lose attention, it's fine. Just come back to the feet. There's no pressure, there's no judgment. There's actually no right or wrong here. There's just entering a process. And the same goes as we start to move up the body into the ankles, calves. You may want to start on the surface levels of the legs, but also sensing inside of them. There's a different flavor that comes out with this. Sensing inside the knees as you come up into knees, and also as we did with the feet, sensing both knees and also the space in between them. See if you can connect with that. For me, I don't know about you, this starts to create a sense of wholeness when I'm using the body as an anchor for awareness. The same as we begin to move into the upper legs, into our seat, lower abdomen. Maybe now you can just be with the weight of the body in the seat, just feeling that. And it's totally fine if you need to just focus more on gross sensations, meaning more obvious tactile sensations. You can start there. And as we move into the lower abdomen, maybe we start to sense the breath in the body at the same time as we notice the belly, abdomen expanding on the inhalation, contracting a little bit on the exhalation. And see if you can start to also pay attention to and become watchful of the sides of the abdomen, the front, the back, also the center where the spine sits, just finding space there if you can. Same as you begin to move your watchfulness into the mid-body, into the solar plexus, just noticing the front, the sides, the back, and then the space in between. So there's a deeper sense of being in your body as we progress, and also as we sense that space inside where the spine sits. Again, we might not have so much feeling there, but we can bring attention there. So that's what's happening. Don't worry if it's hard to feel something, that's okay. But just let your attention and watchfulness abide there for a moment. And here, if we're noticing feeling tones, whether there's energy movement or emotions that are more neutral, pleasant, or unpleasant, we're just noticing them. See if you can just notice their arisings as well. Or you can just stay with the, like as I said, the tactile sensation, the more felt sensation. That's fine too. Moving into the chest, just locating your heart center, not the physical muscle heart, but the energetic heart right in the middle of the chest. Seeing if you can connect with front of the heart, the back, the sides, all the way out to the shoulders. And again, finding that inner space, that space of abiding in the center of your chest. If it's okay to be there, if it's not too uncomfortable, just sitting there for a moment and watching the whole body from this point. So at this point, we'll also invite back in what we've brought awareness to already. The feet, the legs, our seat, abdomen, mid-body. So see if you can link that all up with the center of the chest here, our heart space. Sometimes when we tune in here, we can tune into a little bit of warmth. And sometimes we might not have warmth, we might have its opposite, a little bit of hollowness. So either's really okay. There's nothing wrong with you for experiencing a little bit of hollowness there. This is, part of our modern wounds. We can learn to meet that with kindness. But we'll begin to move up again, back into the shoulders. Down through the arms, all the way out into the fingertips. And again, finding both the tactile sensation of the fingers and the fingers' connection to wherever they're sitting, on your knees, lap. And also the space in between, noticing the space in the hands, the space within the fingers. See if you can attune to that. Again, it's totally okay if you're not feeling or sensing much. The point is to bring attention there. Whatever you're feeling is okay. We don't have to always bring in some kind of special experience. The special experience is actually just being with what's arising, practicing that, working that process. From here, we'll move back up the arms into the shoulders and now into the throat and neck. Sensing the sides, the front, the back of the throat and neck. And as we've been doing, also the middle, the space in between, the center of your throat. You're welcome to just focus on this specific area, but if you also want to scope out and down through the rest of the body, notice how much more space has opened up for you. It's like we flipped on a switch, something came online. And you can be with that space from the throat down all the way to where the feet connect with your seat or the ground below you. And again, there's just a listening that's starting to happen. So I didn't say it yet, but you've been listening. So we could think of call as awareness. We can think of call here as attention, bringing our senses into the now, bringing our awareness, mind into a sense of now. And the response is whatever's happening. We're not controlling that response. So far, we've been tuning into the physical sensations in the body, as well as any inner energies that are moving, and also just the spaciousness of the inner body. So normally we might not think of this as a type of response, but it is. We're getting feedback as we're moving through the body. So another way to think of response here is feedback. And awareness knows. We don't have to think about that. We don't have to bring a process of analyzing or figuring it out. See if you can just bear witness with awareness, this quality of mind that can be watchful. If you're newer to meditation, it's okay to just bring attention. That's a good start. Attention over time actually starts to merge or enter into this deeper quality of awareness. And now as we move up from the throat and neck into the head, moving up the face, scanning up from your jaw into your mouth and lips, nose, cheeks, into your eyes, eyebrows, forehead, all the way to the top of the head. And now down into the head, imagining as if you're looking from within inside the middle of your brain, the middle of your head. For some people, if they've had trouble connecting with the spacious element in the body, this really helps. So look back at the center of your head from the forehead. So it's almost like you have a camera in the forehead, but it's aimed back to the center of the head where the brain sits, and just feel there. So look here means feel. And here you might also notice a lot of space. You can sense the left, right, front, back of the head from within the head. Kind of strange because usually we come at things from the front. But now maybe we're sensing the muscles of our face, back of our head, the front, from within. There's much more space. So we're going to also shift how we receive and listen and empathize with our experience. So are there any muscles that are tight that you can let relax? Is there anywhere in the body that's been tight so far that you can let relax? Just as we did before, just as we were sitting inside of the head, we allow our awareness to become more pervasive throughout the body. If you can, scope out into a full body awareness from the head all the way down to the toes and everywhere in between. If this is hard, if you're kind of trying to track it, think of this more as a sphere or a bubble. So there's a sphere around you, and everything within that sphere is seen through awareness and felt. Just letting be where you can let be. So we can't force relaxation, but what we can do is let be. The relaxation really isn't the point here. It's just a nice ground to be able to bear witness from. Just like any conversation, if we're not at ease, we're probably not going to be a very good conversationalist. So being at ease here means we need to touch in with our anxieties. We need to give them space. We don't try to get rid of them. We don't try to analyze or figure them out. Just give them space to be. But we also have space ourselves, and this is through the quality of awareness. This is also a cultivation of space. So this is one of the secret powers of meditation. Awareness gives us space, but compassion and being willing to be with something, whether it's uncomfortable or comfortable, that gives space for the things around us. And in this case, for the things that are internal in our bodies, feelings, emotions, sensations. See if you can loosen your judgment for a moment and just allow, but also preserve awareness so we're not becoming. From a Buddhist perspective, emotions are actually not the problem. The problem is we cling, and we get stuck, we become. This is why awareness is the root of meditation. It's something we strengthen. And in the case of our topic today, we're also learning to listen from awareness. So meditation is not finding a space to abide in all the time. In this sense of meditation, what I'm exploring and sharing with you today is more a sense of like our ears are turned on. They're allowing experience to move, in this case, our feeling world. And we're allowing our judgment to take a rest, because awareness becomes the ears of perception. In a way, we're not calling anything, we're just open to experience. And the response we get, we also can be open to. And sometimes we can't. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes we resist. So maybe we can be open to the resistance. Open here just means aware and feeling, not rejecting. So it's also at this point that I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. But just before we open the eyes, I just want to give you a little bit of instruction. As you open the eyes, I recommend doing it slowly. And we scope out into 180-degree vision, meaning we include our peripheral vision, and we just look ahead in the space in front of us. We're not opening the eyes and ending the meditation. We're not looking around the room necessarily. See if you can keep the majority of your awareness still in the body, still in the sphere or bubble, both surrounding the body and then feeling and being with everything that's inside of it. So go ahead and open your eyes now if you haven't, and just allow them to open slowly and just allow your gaze to rest in the space in front of you. What this means is instead of staring at an immediate object, just allow the gaze to rest in the space between you and the next object in front of you. Like I said, including your peripheral vision, this opens the gaze so we don't become so laser focused, which usually triggers a lot of thinking. Instead, we allow the eyes to become just like the ears, open, receptive. We can engage with sound if we want. We don't also have to engage with sound. We can allow it to arise and fall. All of our sense perceptions remain open. Our five senses of physical sensation, seeing, hearing, tasting, smell, And also this quality of awareness, which is mind, is open. Again, see if you can rely on the space and groundedness you've cultivated so far in the body. Just allow that to stay. But as we open up, we're also allowing movement in and around us. So there's this sense of pervasion. There's this sense of space, almost as if we're starting to be with our experience as a listener of life within us and around us. How do we experience that with more rawness? That's what awareness is all about. Actually, our eye sense perception, our ear sense perception, smell, taste, touch, they're very raw perceptions. The problem is we usually get the information, we start thinking right away and producing all kinds of narratives. Drop the narrative. See if you can just be with awareness of. And just stay like this for a minute or so. Of course, this includes anything around you, sounds around you, smells. It includes thoughts too, actually. We just encourage awareness of thoughts, not coming out of awareness to think. Those are two different things. Okay, so as we begin to close the meditation and move our bodies a little bit, see if you can stay with what you've cultivated so far. Just this sense of awareness, this sense of embodiment, this sense of being open, like just as our ears are open to sound, now our bodies are open, our awareness is open. So as you look around the room or move the body gently, just noticing how this has shifted your experience.